Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Toytography Live. I am your host, Brian Carr, and I'm here with my partner here. Hello, Dan. What's going on, sir?
Greetings, my friends. It's a good day. It's a busy day.
Yes, it is.
But
Most
it's a
certainly is.
Wednesday, and that's the best day because we all get to hang out. Hey,
Yes.
Tokyo is in the house.
Yes. Let's do that now. Say hello to everyone. So, who do we have here? We have all the way from Tokyo, man. It's good to see you, sir. I mean, man, it's always a joy when we see you coming in. Let's see the chosen 12. Okay. Yeah, and we have Leah Shrimp. Hello. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Jesse sneaking in barely in time.
Yeah, Jesse rolling up in. Man, we might make an adjustment for that. We might make some room for that in a moment. So we'll see how the day goes, man.
Steve, how you doing? Sneaky.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, it's good to see all you guys, man. This is fantastic. It's great to see all of you in the house. We have a really good show for you guys today because, man, we have some cool stuff planned. We definitely have some cool stuff planned. So we have some wonderful guests that we want to bring to the stage with us because, I mean, I've been looking forward to this day, and it seemed like it couldn't come fast enough because it was just, oh man, I'm just super excited about. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just get started writing this thing right now. So we're gonna bring in our guests with us. First person that I want to bring in is Ken.
Hey,
Hello,
Ken.
Gentlemen.
Good to see you, man. Glad that you were able to make it today.
Me too. Thank you.
Yes, and we also
I brought a friend too.
Right. Yes. Yeah, he's keeping a close eye, you know. See,
now that I'm famous, I need somebody to watch my back.
That's what I was saying. You got somebody watching back there. So another famous person we want to bring to the stage, we have Alberto. Hello, sir.
Hey there.
Hi.
It's good. We're definitely going to be talking about the skills of you guys today. And last but not least, man, this is the cherry on top. We have the winner of the Toytography Challenge, the first Toytography Challenge, and won by the skin of his teeth. This is George. Hello, George.
You're making me blush before you even bring me in. I was like, oh God, you're saying that.
1 point. 1 point.
Yeah, wow.
Amazing. Uh-oh. I think Brian might have froze up a little bit on us.
I think so.
So unfortunately, Ian couldn't make it today. And
yes. It's all right. He was we did what we could to get everyone in and everything, but there was a couple of people that wasn't able to show up today, which I think, gosh, I was trying to, let me see, because I believe so we try to get Mike as well, but unfortunately Mike is not able to make it in today. However, you know what, I'm going to see if we make some adjustments to this right now, because I know this would just be totally fun to just to have some extra folks. So just want to give you guys a little heads up. For the whole month of March, we have been doing some giveaways, we had our really, cool sponsor from Big Bad Toy Store, who really helped to make it possible. And we are so grateful for them. And so we have a new figure giveaway today. So be on the lookout for a new trivia question that we have that we're going to show. So I hope you guys are up to speed on the latest show, because we do have a question, and the person who answers the trivia question that we have will have a special figure that we're going to be handing out. today. So yeah. Let me see. Hold on one second here. I'm gonna see if we can actually do this right now. Let's see if he wants to be in on this as well. So before we get further into it, we definitely want to give a shout out to the ones who really helped to make this possible. So let me go ahead and pull up these folks right now. First and foremost, we want to give a shout out to Jazz Ink Dioramas. They are the ones who are taking pre-orders for it right now for the Catwoman figure. This is the figure that's based on Michelle Pfeiffer and the Michael Keaton Batman, which is actually one of the coolest Batmans. I'm gonna say that right now. It's one of the coolest Batmans. So he's taking pre-orders right now. So there's three different versions of the show. I'm sorry, of the show. Three different versions of the figure. So there's the clean version, and then there's the battle damage version, which you can see in the highlights here. I mean, just top quality stuff. So you can order either one. You can pre-order this version, or you can order this version. But there's also a third option where if you order both figures, then you will also receive this diorama set that you'll get included with the figure. And again, like I said, I really enjoy Jazz Ink dioramas. They're always doing good quality stuff with their figures and everything. So you definitely do not want to miss out on that. And also want to give a shout out to Big Bad Toy Store. I mean, gosh, what can you not say about Big Bad Toy Store with all the stuff that they have available? So there's a number of different figures from all different sizes, 1/6 scale, 1/12 scale, I believe 1/4 scale as well. So there's a number of different stuff, and as well as diorama pieces available. So yeah, so if you guys definitely want to take advantage of Big Bad Toy Store and all the things that they have available, but definitely want to give a thanks to them because they were the ones who really helped make it possible for the Toytography challenge. So definitely a big thanks to them. So you guys, man, I just want to just jump right into it because it was just, this is the first time we've ever done this show, and I'm so glad we did it because we had so many talented people in the show, and it just made the whole experience fun. I mean, yes, I mean, people have sent me messages saying, thanks for putting this together, but this would not have happened. It would not even gotten as far as it did without the contestants themselves, because you guys brought your A game. I mean, really, you guys were so good with the photography, because it's one thing to say, you show some images and it's just like, oh yeah, that's nice. That's a nice photos. And then after that, you're not really interested after that. But with all the challenges that we had and the images that you guys produced, I mean, it was just some amazing stuff that you guys came up with. So I wanted to, first of all, go really talk to you guys about your experience when you opened up those boxes and saw all of those figures that you guys had at your disposal. What was that like for you guys? I'm gonna start with you, Ken. What did you was there anything there that was just like, oh my gosh, I have this, or what was your experience like with that?
No, nothing I have, but I think opening Ghost Rider was probably the biggest mind blower to me, just because it was such a deluxe set, right? The bike and the figure and all the accessories and everything, and that was really what I was most blown away by. And I really liked the M Bison packaging. Actually, that was really cool as well. But Ghost Rider was the big mind blower for me, and I didn't know the other characters, so they're all cool and they all look really great on my shelf. But I wasn't sure really who they were really, but yeah, and I love Mezco right now is my favorite toy line. I'm hooked on them, and so they're a little expensive, but they're relatively affordable, and they're so detailed, and They come with so many great accessories and stuff, so I love them. So getting that was probably my biggest like wow moment.
So I guess that was the reason why as soon as you got it, you were just like, "Oh, I'm using this one."
Yeah, well, like I said before, I kind of went back and forth between that and the Santa, but I was worried about the articulation of Santa. Seeing what came from Santa, though, I wish I'd kind of picked it.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say,
But I did go and buy the Krampus to go with Santa afterwards. Now on my shelf from that Naughty and Nice line. So.
Okay.
That look on your face when you pulled that Ghost Rider out, though, was, I mean, everybody, your reactions were phenomenal. But when each of you saw the Ghost Rider figure, I was sitting there watching the show and I'm going, "Oh my God, look at that!" Because then when Brian told me what they were, I'm pretty sure my reaction was very similar to how all of you did too.
Yeah.
Well, because none of it's like your Walmart peg warmer kind of like, it's all like super deluxe exclusive merchant. Like it's incredible. Just
yes,
not just the quality of the work, but the pieces themselves. It's not just another Batman that you can pick up off the shelf at any department store or whatever. So
right.
They really went out of their way.
Yeah,
I mean, which was incredible. Steve's comment is probably the best.
Right. Yeah. That was really, yeah. I mean, that was the whole thing. It was just, I mean, it was amazing to see. I mean, when they first contacted me and told me what they were going to send, I was just like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, okay, wait. So they're all going to get one of these figures? And they said, oh, no. They're getting all of them. I'm like, what? They're getting them all. I was like,
told me that. I said, you're kidding. What do we have to pay for this?
Right.
No, they're sending them all.
That was absolutely amazing. So, and speaking of Santa, Alberto, man, I mean, dude. So, what was your experience like when you opened those figures, and also what made you choose the Santa?
No, it was pretty cool when I saw everything that was inside of the box. I was really excited when I got the Mythic Legion Stavros because I had that on pre-order. I was expecting that figure at some point. So sorry, BBTS, I canceled the pre-order. I made up with Santa sales apparently.
Yes.
They told me there.
Yes.
The Ghost Rider, I was tempted, but in a practical way to shoot it is going to be difficult because I have the old one and the light up functions that and wouldn't have transferred well to photo, or unless you made some digital effects on it and all that stuff. So I skipped that one. I really wanted to work with Stavros, but he's too big and might present some problems down the road with dioramas and lighting, all that stuff. Plus his scaling is painted black, so that would be difficult to get contrast with shadows and lights. So skip that one also.
Yes.
And I had one of the Santa Claus, and I had going what Ken said about the articulation. I was aware about the range of the articulation with that figure, so I knew it because it's similar to Mythic Legion's articulations. I said, fine. And I can play out the dwarf mythos, barbarian mythos, which is down. It's kind of my cup of tea. So this will work with all I have that I can work a practical way with it. So
yeah.
And Bison, I wasn't going to touch with a 10-foot pole. I'm not a piece of that. What was the other one? The one that George chose. I have a couple of those lines, and I've been meaning to shoot them. And I like the line that's come up lately, but I don't know. I'm kind of a barbarian guy, so I stuck with Santa all the way.
I mean, that's like man, it's just the way it was almost like, I mean, I'll just say, looking at your beard and looking at the Santa, Alberto, was like you were putting yourself in the pictures, man.
He had options. He had the cloak, and he had several other stuff. And see, I had other pieces from the other Santas I had, so I could mix and match and make different stuff out of it. So there was a little bit of range. Hopefully that at the beginning, I thought this might get me through the whole competition. After you said that, oh, you're gonna have to stick with this figure all the way. So I said, oh, okay, I'm pretty good here. So I stuck with that. Yeah.
I just have this mental image though of Alberto standing in front of the mirror posing, trying to decide how he was going to.
I didn't take it that far.
That life model.
Well, George, before I move over to you, sir, we have a little surprise.
I'm so sorry. Hey guys, I just got this dumb little thing the other day, so I had to.
Hey, at least it's not a 30-second dance party, buddy.
Oh man, it's good to see you guys. How's everybody doing?
As soon as I saw you, I was like, "Oh man, no, it's not gonna do it justice, man. We definitely gotta bring you."
Oh well, thank you. Yeah, I was just getting done with work, and I knew I wanted to log in for this one and watch you guys at least. So happy to jump in quick.
Well, so George, man, what was I mean, because I have to say when I was going back, because I was the one who edited the show. Okay, so as I'm editing the show, I'm looking at George's face as he's opened up the boxes. So, yes. So I could tell that he was getting super excited about the stuff that was coming in. So what was it like for you, George?
So for me, the first thing I saw when I opened it was that big Mezco Ghost Rider, and I already have the other one. And so seeing that, I was like, oh my God, matching set. And then like, this is incredible. And then seeing all the other figures that were in there. Yeah, it was second Christmas, man. Honestly, it was like looking at these figures, I was like, this is insane. There's so much cool stuff in here. Yeah. But what really caught my eye was, I was kind of leaning towards the Santa Claus also for my figure of choice. But what really caught my eye about the Sleepwalker from Monster Force was the accessories that it came with. All those accessories, I was like, okay, I can do a lot with this because I had all the different hoses and everything attached, the backpack, all the weapons, all the different hands. I was like, okay, if there's something I need to do with all these, I can do something with it. And I like shooting 1/12 scale, so having that size figure with all those accessories, I knew that there would be something for me to do.
Okay, yeah, because gosh, I would say after for those of you who watched the show earlier in the month of March, after seeing what George did and after seeing what Alberto did, I was like, I'm buying the figures. I'm both of those figures right now, hands down. I'm getting them both. It's so in here. I'm like, yes, because I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can see promo pictures for stuff, but when you actually see someone take those photos with that figure, it brings it to life. And so after that, you're seeing it like, okay, I gotta buy it now. I was on the fence, but now I'm buying it, and I'm buying it because I saw it. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. You guys just did
just incredible
job with it. So I actually, before we go further, I want to actually do a recap on the photos that you guys submitted. With first of all the image that we asked you guys to create where you had to use all the figures because man, I already knew that was going to be a challenge because none of those characters matched. None of them came with the storyline. So I mean, I literally, that was I think George just gave the best expression. He was like, what? Like, yep. Because that was
I enjoyed.
Okay, yeah, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that it just threw you for a loop because you have those people that will look at a challenge not even knowing all the details, and they're like, I got this. This is in the bag. And then when they see what the rules are, they're like, what? Wait, what? So that was one thing. So I definitely wanted to show the highlights that you guys did because you guys did some impressive photos here. So let me pull up right now. I'm gonna pull up. Let's see. Well, I mean, actually, we could show. Let's start out. George, actually, we'll start with your photo, man, and take a look at what you produced there. Because man, that was that's an amazing looking shot. Because for one, in comparison, just like what Alberto was mentioning about the size of Stavros' figure, he towers over this guy. So that's what I was saying before. I was like trying to figure out like how is he going to make this and in the pose that you put it in to where he's just like standing over. But man, you totally nailed it with all of these guys just piled on all of that. That is just a fantastic shot, man. It just looks absolutely amazing with the details on
The
that.
beauty
So
of it
man,
for
you
me,
did a fantastic
the beauty of it for me was, you all got slammed with, all right, now you got 15 minutes to come up with a dynamic pose. And so watching, the five of you and you're working and you're getting the poses and everything. And, they're like, all right, yeah, this is great. And then Brian's like, oh, and by the way, don't change
Right.
that pose because you're going to use the other four figures in with it. And I think every one of you at that point probably wanted to be like, nope, we're done, we're out.
Right.
But you rose up to the challenge, you were game, and just incredible, absolutely incredible work.
Yeah, totally
Movie
fantastic.
poster.
Let's take a look at let's see who else we got that also did a fantastic job. Oh, we got Alberto in your picture, man. It's like, geez. The one big thing I like about it is those glowing eyes that you put on the figure. On that
Yes.
setup. That was a nice touch to that, man. That was absolutely fantastic. And then having the glows going on with it. I mean, again, it was just fantastic. And then let's see who else we also have pulled up here. This was Mike's photo.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
That's where he had him basically just plowing through. I like what he put on the nostrils there. Just have him plowing through and then knocking him clearly out the way. That was totally unique. And then I realized he actually put like a little fireball effect from Bison on there. So yeah, man, he did a great job with that one. And then we also have, I'm gonna pull up Ken's image here. Let's see. I know I had you here. Where is? Oh, you know what? I gotta open it up. Right now we can look at. Oh no, there you are. There you are. Next one down. That was and that was the thing, dude. Kid, dude, you brought the humor with your images for sure. that was
the best. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody's was great, but I saw this and I was just like freaking brilliant.
So that was the thing. It was, I mean, and now I know, and I should have known that with the other images that you produced, because that was one of the things that we looked at when we came to choosing the contestants was the photos that you guys created, and we definitely saw all the images with that when we saw Ken was putting in, when we were looking at the images and going like who was going to pick. There was some we were laughing out loud with some of the stuff that you had put. Like, yeah, that's so, dude. Thank you for bringing your humor to the table.
Oh, thank you.
that was for sure. And then lastly, we had this was Ian's shot. Now, for those of you who didn't know, Ian said figure out the package. The leg stayed in the package.
Would have went pro, but went for the bum leg.
Right. Right. So it was like that was one of the things he had to improvise. Steve said.
Only in a flash mob gone wrong.
Right.
Flash mob in the most literal sense.
Yeah, so I mean, that was the whole thing. You guys just absolutely nailed it with these images, and it was just absolutely fantastic with the stuff here. So, for those of you that are in the chat who are watching the show, one of the things we wanted to do for you guys today is, these guys were there for the first experience of the show. And it's great that we have Jesse here as well, because you get both sides of it. So if you have any questions as we're going throughout the show that you want to ask the contestants, or if you want to ask the judge, like, what was their experience there, feel free to ask away. We'll be keeping an eye out on the chat. So if there's anything you guys want to ask them, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to
drop a trivia question on.
Oh no, the trivia question.
That's coming last.
Yeah. We're gonna hang out later for that one. So just stay tuned. The trivia question will be coming
Jesse,
later.
I'm going to need your eyes to be on the chat because, unfortunately, gentlemen, as much as I hate to do it, I have to jump off. My wife is not going to be too happy that I. And
that is totally understandable. That's like part of the hobby is being with the wives. So we understand.
But next Wednesday, I will be live, remote from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
So hopefully, I'll find a toy store or something out there, and I'll have something new and cool to talk about.
All right.
I got a few things coming. So, contestants, it is an absolute pleasure to finally actually get to meet and talk with you guys. Excited about following you on social media. Can't wait to see more of your work. Jesse, the co-pilot's chair is officially yours. And
oh, that's great. I've done that before.
He is. All right, sir. You have a good one.
Right. Cool. Thanks, Dan.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Dan.
Oh, you got fans, George. She got fans. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How nervous was each? Okay. That's a good question for you. So we'll I'll say we'll start with you, Ken. What was your how did you feel when these challenges were, one, the challenges, and two, the people that you knew you were up against with the challenge? Like, how did you feel about that?
I think honestly, going into the challenge itself, like the physical work, I think I don't know about everybody else, but I was kind of focused on just what I was trying to do. So I didn't get too preoccupied with who I was up against. Man, I know it was excellent competition for sure, but it certainly, as things went on, I mean, everything just got better and better. But I think for me, the hardest part was coming up with the idea, obviously, realizing that your initial idea doesn't necessarily work, having to come up with a secondary idea, then trying to get that work, knowing that you're running out of time. I also have to sleep. I also have to, do the other things that we do in our lives. So I don't know if nervous is the right word, but maybe there was certainly some stress to try to do your best. I mean, that's part of the challenge, right? That's why it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But just trying to be original, trying to be creative, and your ideas don't always work, and then you have to rethink what you're trying to do, and try to make something come together in that short period of time. So maybe not nervous, but certainly nerve-wracking. As time goes on, you get a little more like, oh, I'm running out of time, and this has to work. Whatever I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, good or bad.
Right. Alberto, how about you, sir? How was your feeling throughout those challenges?
It was more not nervous, but it was more because 24 hours sounds a lot, but it's actually not that much time because we all assume we have obligations. We got kids, we got work, we got, But in reality, it comes down to like maybe 3-4 hours that you can work with the shot and get the idea. And it's mostly working against the clock that was really what caused stress during the whole challenge, basically. And I'm a night owl, so I do photos at night. So basically I work from midnight to 3 a.m. working with the shot. So I edit in the morning.
Wow.
So because that's the only time I have to myself, basically. So everybody's asleep at the house, so I can work around everything. So, but it's not nervous. Maybe nervous came when we had to show the photo, when the photos came up and get but during the process of working, it was just the rush of trying to get things done in time, basically.
Yes, and I'm sure that hearing those scores as well. So,
Yeah.
yes. George, how about you, sir? What was your feeling for doing those challenges?
I'm right there with Alberto and Ken. It was less nervous, but like Ken said, it was kind of nerve wracking depending on the challenge because when the criteria changed, your mindset had to change too, or at least mine did.
Yeah.
So how I approached it really kind of dictated how I felt going into it. The last challenge was the one that really tested my limits because that was something that I'm not really too familiar doing, especially with my toy photography. But from challenge to challenge, working with the clock within the time frame, which is something again I'm not too used to doing, that really took me out of my comfort zone, tested me, but ultimately taught me a lot about managing my time when I'm setting up a shot, getting it ready to go, and of course editing after the fact. And kind of like Alberto, I stay up late a lot, except also having kids and having to work around that schedule, my work schedule, and made it a challenge on top of a challenge on top of a challenge. So at the end of the day, working with a deadline, I think helped though. It kind of made me think, okay, I have until now to get this done or until this time to get it done. So that's something I use to my advantage, but also just being mindful of how I felt mentally going into each challenge.
Okay. We have a question for Steve. Before you knew what figures you would be using, how did you prepare? For example, stocking up on crayons to make it.
Good call, man.
So was there anything that you guys did? Now, I will say, I do remember Ken talking about he had to rush out to the store to go get some Cheetos.
Yeah.
So for stuff like that, like what did you guys do? Like besides that, were there anything that you guys ran out to go grab to do any other challenges?
No.
No.
No?
Well, there's
For
no
me,
way to prepare.
yeah.
You have no idea what you're actually in for. So, I don't know. I wasn't expecting a whole, box full of stuff for one, and I assumed we would have a figure or a couple of figures to work with. But aside from a couple of assumptions, there's no way to have any guess that when you do this again, the next people have an advantage of having watched what this process looks like.
Yeah.
So they'll have a better approach to, pre-engaging in the challenges a little bit. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I did try to make those candles out of crayons though.
You did.
And
That was
really
such a
hard.
good idea. It was so crazy
Way
how
harder than
you
I
did that.
expected.
Yeah, that was totally like left field. Like, oh my gosh, like this is something you just never think to do, and that was a very, very clever idea, man. That was absolutely fantastic. There's another question that someone was asking, and I'm gonna pull it up right now because someone had a question for a specific image, which was this right here. So Bram is asking, how did you get the idea to put the figure in the freezer? So what came to mind of that? Because I know we all had to use household items. Like, where did you come up with freezer and then wanted to use that?
Honestly, it was one of the first things that came to mind. The ice cube tray that his foot is in is actually the first thing I thought of. And I'm like, how can I use the ice cube tray? And I was going to originally have him standing up. But as soon as you said household object, I thought, what do I not see as much of? You see a lot of figures when they use household objects interacting with like bottles and utensils and stuff. And I was like, okay, what about a major appliance? Let me put him in something. And so I thought, Sleepwalker, let me give him a bit of a zombie feel. Let's have him crawling and then making it a little bit goofy by putting his feet inside the ice cube tray, actually freezing him in there and making it look as though he tried to get out but fell over. And now he's just like, trying to reach for the door to open the freezer to get out.
Oh, man. So to get the ice around there, how long did it take to put him in the freezer? Because don't have to give him some time for it to freeze up.
It took it was a few hours before it started to really set in. I made the mistake of opening the freezer too soon and then trying to shoot too early, and the ice cubes hadn't frozen properly, and so his feet just started falling right out because they're only frozen over on top. So I put them back in, reset it, and then kept it in for a little bit longer. So that shot, I was up well into the night getting that one all set up, especially since I didn't want to keep my freezer open for too long. I just kept them there frozen. And then got some good feedback for you to not touch the figure, don't pose him until he's fully thought out.
Yes.
But yeah, the idea for the freezer just came up. It was one of the first things that went through my head. It was that and the washing machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice big silver drum.
Wow. Okay.
And that was
Okay.
your phone shot too, right, George?
Yeah, that was the one I
Yeah.
shot with my
Oh,
iPhone
yeah,
too.
that's
That was
right.
also part of the challenge.
That was the phone shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Okay, so we have another question here. So and this is actually really good for all of you guys because we mentioned it a few times during the show. So it's good to talk about it now. I know, and this pretty much speaks for everyone. Going into the contest, you guys have your own method of how you do your photography. So the question is, did you discover any new methods that you never tried before when it came to doing any of the shots?
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff, Alberto? You want to elaborate a little bit?
Working with the phone challenge because I worked with a phone way back in the day before I jumped into formal cameras, but
Okay.
that was a little bit of a hassle trying to, get a similar shot to what I'm used to getting with my work. But it came through. Actually, I played with a little bit, did a little bit of research, which took me a little while, and tried to get the result that I wanted, and it worked. I guess I was worried trying to get a low light shot with a camera. I thought it was not going to work, but it managed to work its way in. So yeah.
Okay. Kim, so I know that you made it to the second challenge.
Yeah.
Was there any changes that you made from the first image to the second image that you wanted to change it up a bit?
Well, actually, as a result of the second challenge, yes. Moving forward, so not so much for the challenge, but Jesse, I think it was you that said, you're kind of over relying on the digital stuff, and that photo would have benefited from dialing that back, and that's sat with me, and I've done a few things since then, and I keep that very much in the forefront of my mind. I'm gonna try to make sure I can do more in-camera practical stuff. So when it comes to editing, I'm not. Well, I don't know if it's being lazy, but I have to find those more challenging practical ways to get the effects that I'm trying to do, rather than just throw them in after. That's the biggest thing that stuck with me through the whole thing.
Oh, very interesting.
So that was a big eye opener for me.
Okay.
That said, I do honestly, I like my second photo better than I like my first. Just the overall quality, I like that one.
Okay. Yeah.
When I had to go, but definitely, definitely.
My heart goes out to you for all those Cheetos that you had to put in there, man. I was really feeling for you having to stick all those Cheetos in there.
And you know what else? I don't even like those Cheetos. I didn't even eat them. They're too spicy. They give me heartburn. So I didn't even use them for anything. They went into the trash after.
You know what? I'm pretty sure I would have done the same thing. So I told it's like, I am only using this for the photo, and after that, it's gone. That totally makes sense. What about you, George? Is any? I mean, I know for you, man, you had quite a number of things that you had changed. I mean, because from the first image to the last image of the challenge, dude, that was like a complete 180 almost for the stuff that you was doing. So what new methods did you learn as a result of this?
Well, I'd never shot with reflections before. Shooting with an iPhone was something I'd done a lot of before in the past, but never with toys. So
Okay.
kind of shooting with the iPhone on that scale was something that was a bit of a learning curve there. But for me, it was really the last two challenges with the reflection and natural light that I found really helped me learn a lot about how I use natural light in my photos with my toys. And the reflections, shooting with that was a lot of fun to learn how to shoot and change my angle, since my figure wasn't in line with my camera. It was off to the side and it was just shooting the reflection. So having it be like a secondary subject in the photo,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Okay. And actually, speaking of that, I'm gonna pull those images up right now because, man, honestly, I think out of all the shows that we did, I think the reflections one was the most talked about. So let me see if I could I will pull up yours since we had just mentioned that so people can see your reflections image, because, man, that was good. I even like what Jesse was saying about the image when you was mentioning the duality of man. That's what that's what Jesse was talking about. Is that what you were saying, Jesse?
Yep.
Yeah, it was just man, that's what, and that was one of the things I liked when the thing that Jesse mentioned about the image that was also caught my attention too, of the one body with the two heads. I think that was absolutely really, really clever. The fact that you pulled that image off. And then the other ones, let me see if I can get this, because dang, man, this was another image where everybody was just like, geez, the method, and we were all excited to see it when he pulled this up. But Alberto, my gosh, man, your photo that was just, oh, dude. I'll tell you, I think when he put up the image, if I remember correctly, we were all silent. So we were all just like, geez. And then especially when we saw your behind the scenes of how you pulled that off, it was like, gosh, dude, it was just man, it was a really, really clever shot. Dude. You
That's
definitely,
still so awesome to see.
I know, right? This is like
That Pepper's ghost and how it's in scale with Santa too. Like there's nothing
yeah.
And the
there's
feet on the
nothing wrong to
floor.
say. It's so
Yeah,
nice.
how it makes contact just
Yes,
perfectly.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really, literally, he got the feet just lined up perfectly with the whole
Yeah.
thing. I mean, dude. So, and gosh, I even noticed right then you put the glow in the eyes as well. My gosh, man, it was just going all out for that. So, my goodness, that was just so. Personally, this is just a question that I have for you guys, like, or for you, Alberto, when you was doing this. How difficult was it to get his feet to line up on, to be standing next to Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's kind of hitting on what George said. You're shooting an off subject, figure, and at the same time you're shooting to focus Santa, and then you have to set it up in order to get the details from the skeleton when he's standing way back in the other side of the room, to get that focus and to get the proper lighting in, so you get to see the figure. It was a feat to get it done, but it was just a matter of trying to get him to stand there. And since I think we couldn't do any digital editing or anything, so
Right.
literally to match to where he's standing next to Santa, which was the difficult part. So basically, it's just me looking at the glass that casts a reflection and just posing the skeleton back and forth and playing with the bounce. And it was pretty hectic.
How long did it take you
For what? For
to do the setup, to get your shots, to get everything matched up, to capture the image from start to capture?
Started at maybe 11 and I finished up at maybe 3 a.m. A couple of hours.
Wow.
And I edited in the morning a little bit, and then I sent it to.
Okay. Okay.
I almost forgot to do that because I was basically passed out by then. I almost forgot to do that.
That would be horrible.
So I was kind of wobbling the whole setup.
Probably one was like, "Oh my god, I gotta send my."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's another question that we have for someone. Now, Ken, I know you had already mentioned because you said you like your second image more than the first one. Uh, but someone else was asking here, what was everyone's favorite challenge out of all of them that you guys enjoyed? What was the one challenge that you were like, I'm having fun with this one?
Mine was that one, the reflection.
Oh, to reflect. Okay, okay. And what about you, George? Did you have a favorite challenge out of?
So if you ask me which one that I have the most fun with,
Mhm.
it's going to be the mobile phone, the phone challenge with
Oh,
with
With the
the
ice
household
box.
item.
okay.
The one I learned the most from though is definitely the last challenge, the natural light.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. I mean, considering the fact that you checked it a little bit early, so with that the one in the freezer was probably the easiest one because you just had to just kind of sit around for a bit and just let them just let them freeze.
I was watching ice cream thaw at the same time. I was getting a little depressed.
I was like, yeah, that's. I think that's one of the things that Ian was like. Your daughter was probably coming. Can I have some ice cream? No.
Nope.
Daddy's taking a photo.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess, man, that was just, gosh, dude, that was just absolutely amazing. Just using all of that stuff with. So, I mean, now, Jesse, I got a question for you, man. Because I know it was tough to put your scores in
Yeah.
for these guys. So actually, I want to. That's the kind of thing I want to ask you. Like, what was your experience being on the other side? Like, how did that make you feel being a judge there?
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, first off, I have to thank you for even considering me and bringing me on the show to be a judge. Like, what timeline is this? This is so weird. Like, so thank you for that. Man, it was a lot of fun, and it was nowhere near as challenging as what you guys had to do, of course. But yeah, it was difficult to not only just enjoy the photos, but to try to look at them a little more critically and give feedback and to score them, to put how do you put a number on something subjective like this? Like they're all so great. How do you do that? But it was really fun. It was amazing to watch all of you guys week in, week, well, 24 hours, I guess, in
Yeah.
reality, but I was glad I didn't have to do it. First of all, seeing the challenges come up, my brain would immediately go to how would I do this? And just to think about it. And then you guys actually had to pull it off. And then to see what you did the next day, man, it was so cool to experience that. But yeah, it was hard to then sit back with a critical hat and try to judge, like, what's the difference between an 8 and a 7? And, how, this person's photo versus this person's photo. And, but it was a really, really cool experience. And I'm really excited I got to be a part of it, even from this side of the chair. It was really fun.
Yeah, I like I said, I was really feeling for you guys when we were going through the challenges and everything, because it's like, yeah, it is when you're looking at I mean, I'll just say, just looking at this much talent, how do you put a number on that? It's and I gotta say that is the hard part of the challenge. It's like, can we just sit and just look at everybody's photo? It's just like, just say, but it's, but that is the tough part. I mean, it was unfortunate just even mentioning, the people who was like, okay, all right, I gotta mention, that it's time for them to exit, for those,
that's tough.
And even on top of that, it's like, even with the images that were produced, they were still good images,
Yep. And I wanted to see more.
Yeah.
For every person that had to leave, it's like, no, I want to see what the next
what they would do with it,
would be.
Right. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. That was the thing. Cause I also, that was one thing I was kind of, just kind of curious about. I will admit, every challenge that we gave, I was thinking, like, how would a Ken done that image? Like, what kind of
I can tell you, I when it comes to the reflection, I wish I could have been able to do it, but I'm also kind of glad I didn't have to do it. Because that would have been because I did the same thing. Like I watched, I was watching as everybody else moved on, and there's so much to absorb. But I was also just like, how would I have done that? And I was like, I don't know. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't get eliminated that one time. I would have got eliminated that time. It was just mind blowing. It was so great. So I wish I had done it, but I'm also glad I didn't have to because it would have been very, very humbling.
Yes, yeah, that's what what those challenges did. It was, the whole point of those challenges were to shake things up. That's not the norm. I was literally trying to, like, when we were coming up with the challenges, we were looking at all of you guys and looking at, the level of content that you were putting in. And so we had to come up with challenges like, okay, if we do a challenge that focuses on this, then that'll be in that person's comfort zone and they might excel way past everyone else. So we had to think of challenges that was just kind of like, okay, let's just shake up everybody's game, when it came to. So that was the tough thing, just coming up with the challenges and also not trying to make challenges so ridiculous that it's just like, oh, come on now. It's like, how am I going to be able to pull off, that kind of thing? And that's why, and on top of that, again, what Alberto was mentioning as far as the time frame, it's also what challenges can we come up with in a limited time frame? Because you guys only had 24 hours, which I would say Ian was mentioning towards the end. He was like, technically we don't get 24 hours, we're here for that hour. So it's like, well, you get the gist of the whole thing. So it's like, yeah. And so that was the thing, trying to come up with challenges that are okay within the time frame. And also what Alberto was mentioning, you guys got families, you guys got lives that you're dealing with. Yeah. So we didn't want to create like this huge elaborate challenge, to where you guys were just like, oh man, I'm not even gonna be able to pull this off, because what we didn't want, and thankfully we did not, but what we didn't want to happen is someone to say, you know what, I can't do this challenge, I'm out, or not, or going past the time that we had for the time limit. Because really all it was just like you had up until the show we got ready to do the next episode. It's like your image had to be in before we do that next episode, because it couldn't be any scrambling. So yes, we had to take all of that into account when it came to putting into the challenges. But thankfully, you guys, I mean, not only did you like put in those images, but you wowed us with every image that you created. I mean, it was just impressive to see. And again, not just submitting the images, but also looking at everyone behind the scenes. Like your behind the scenes images was phenomenal stuff, so that was just absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to jump straight to the last two images that we did, because we're going to throw in our trivia question with this. So you guys, I hope you guys, you guys are aware of the latest episode. Hopefully you watched the latest episode so you know what we're going to be asking. But since I have it up right now, I'm going to go ahead and pull up Alberto's image, and we'll take a look at yours right here, which was, man, that's just a fantastic image. To produce a image with snow coming from somebody who's in Florida, it's like, that was just fantastic the way you pulled that off. And I can't remember, you mentioned before, what did you use for snow?
I forget the name of the. It's, you add water and it makes the mix, and it's
okay.
I'll look for it, and before the show ends, I'll give you the name.
Okay. Because we were discussing this later on. I mean, when George and I were talking, and George, you came up with a new thing to use for snow, and you actually in an area where there is snow.
Yeah.
But just so you don't have to deal with something that melts while you're trying to get your image, you came. So what was the stuff
So, yeah, I use like a mixture of to make my own fake snow, because even though I live where I live and there's snow everywhere, I don't enjoy it all the time. I'll be very, very simple with that. Ken knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what I did to make my own snow so that I want to shoot in a controlled environment and have control over the snow is I mix shaving cream. So that foamy stuff, not the gel stuff. Shaving cream with baking soda, not baking powder. I took one of those boxes, tiny little boxes of baking powder, poured the whole thing into a box, into a bowl, and then started spraying in the that foamy shaving cream. And when you mix it up, and you'd think that it would get like super clumpy because the shaving cream is absorbing it, but there's a reaction with the baking soda, and it actually just turns into a really thick powder that you can clump together to create bigger pieces, but then almost like kinetic sand can break apart, and you have very, very good control of the consistency of it, and it looks just like snow. Except I made a mistake in the last batch that I used. Now it smells like menthol when
It's called instant snow. You can get it in Amazon.
Instant snow. Okay. Man, I didn't even notice right now. I'm just looking at it right now. You put the naughty list in the list in the background behind him. It's like, so I guess he got all the people that were on the naughty list, and he's like, so dude, to have the skulls and everything, and then this is the zombie Santa, right? That you use?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Man, it was just a great image, man. I think this was just absolutely fantastic to put us off. And now let's show George's image, because gosh, dude, that was just man. I also like what you mentioned about the what the figure represented, but yeah, I see that which is sounds like, yeah, 100%, that's right. So man, yeah, so this image right here, gosh, dude, I know you had mentioned like this represents how tired you are. So this was man, this was just a fantastic representation of just exhaustion and again blood, sweat, and tears that put into this whole thing. So this was fantastic, dude. I mean, I love all the stuff that Sean and Jesse were saying about the image, but literally all the detail with the footprints, I mean, everything. And this was just really, really good shot. And you had said that you said it was windy that day as well, so you had to deal with the wind.
It was really, really windy. I was shooting in the morning. As soon as the sun started coming up, it was a clear sky, thankfully. And the day before, it had snowed a lot. So I had a little bit of luck in my side with there being clear skies. So I had really good sun exposure. But the wind, for the walls that I'm using in the photo, I was using some whiteboards, some hard whiteboards that I dug into the snow to act as walls to really just cut off the sun and create that tunnel effect. And they kept getting knocked around. They got blown apart a couple of times. I'm glad I had as many as I did because they didn't survive.
Oh man, I mean, shoot, I would say I've done it a couple of times where I would get my family members and like, hey, you gonna hold this while I'm taking this picture. Hey, don't move. Just like you can stand there. It's like, yes, I'm trying to do that.
I had my son home from school that day, and he was just watching me trying to shoot this. I'm outside in a t-shirt and boots trying to get that photo, and freezing my butt off.
What's your dad out there doing? Don't
ask. And then he sees me whipping up fake blood and like throwing it all over the snow, and he's wondering, like, if you were my neighbor, you probably should have thought about making a phone call.
I don't know what he's doing.
like he's trying to cover up his tracks or something.
I love the way his right foot is clearly dragging. So his left foot is a footprint and the right foot is a drag. So he's limping.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
detail that
That is nice detail, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What a few people didn't notice too is if you zoom in on the actual figure, I used some detailing masking tape to act as a bandage around him. That's why his
Oh yeah,
left
like
arm
some
is
gauze
up.
or something. Very nice.
Yeah, so he's got it wrapped around him.
wow.
Wow. Man, that is gosh, again, attention to detail. And again, this is the reason why you guys made it all the way to the challenge, because we just, this kind of stuff we just wouldn't think of, wouldn't know for this stuff. So dude, you guys did a fantastic job with this. So I have one other thing, George, I'm gonna ask you so you can show everyone. But before I do that, let's go ahead and just jump into the trivia question. So again, I hope you guys are all set and ready, because or you know what, let me go ahead and pull it back up and we'll start there. So this is Alberto's image. Now the question that we had to ask you guys was actually a question that Alberto was asked when we took a look at this image. So he had mentioned the backdrop here was actually a piece that you said a friend made for you. That was
A client made for me.
a client made you. Okay. And so this was supposed to be like the same type of rock that they used in the Galaxy's Edge. I mean, I know they use it out in Florida, but they use the same material out here in California where I am for our Disneyland stuff. But the unique thing about this was the weight of it. So the question is, does anyone remember how heavy he said it was? Like how many pounds that he said this thing was? I'm looking at the comments now so I can oh man, we got like right away. The Chosen 12, he put it in there. That is correct, sir. You said it was 300 pounds. It was 300 pounds.
Dang.
A 300-pound rock that he put in. My gosh, man. And you said it's attached to the wall?
No, it's on a Black & Decker, like a craft table. So yeah.
Oh, okay. 300 pounds, that is going nowhere. That is just going nowhere. So congrats to you for answering the question and answering it quickly too. So, I mean, that just goes to show, man, you guys are totally paying attention to this stuff. So clearly we've been handing out some really cool figures. So this is the figure that you are going to win for getting that answer correctly, which is the Stavros figure, the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. You'll be receiving that, including it's this figure and all of the accessories that he comes with as well. Congrats to you. This is the figure that you will receive. So, and it's a cool figure. I mean, just sheer size. I looked at some of the reviews that some of these other YouTubers have been doing. I'm like, dang man, that dude is big. Like, gosh, and flexible and everything. And then you can, I mean, if you wanted to, you can strip the whole dude down and just have just the scales and everything on him. So it is totally impressive. So that is your figure, sir. You are the
Congratulations
of Stavros today. So we'll contact you. Oh, there it is. There you go. Yeah, let's I'll pull you up so everyone can see just how big that dude is.
He's really focusing or not, but
Yeah.
That is
Trevor's beautiful shot on the back there.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic, sir. So congrats to you. So we'll reach out to you later, or if you want, you can if you're part of the Facebook group, you can just jump right in there, or you can message me and we'll give your info so we can send that to you. But congrats to you. And George, man, so since you became the winner of Toytography Challenge, there was actually one extra little gift that we sent to you, sir. You want to show everyone what you received?
I received this awesome metal print of my
Ooh.
winning image.
Yeah.
Hold on, angle. Not so easy with all these reflections.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Very
This
nice.
thing is
Oh, that's
so
cool.
awesome. It is my first metal print anything. So opening this was such a cool surprise, man. And I've had it sitting on my shelf right behind me in the office here. And yeah, it's very, very cool to see.
Yes, congrats to you, man. I'm so glad that we was able to get that to you. Because we were actually discussing it after the show and everything. And I do that. I get a lot of my prints done on metal. And so when I'm looking at mine, I'm like, man, sometimes I don't even want to get rid of mine because if they look so good or whatever. So that's when we were just like, you know what? That's when Dan had actually mentioned it. Dan was like, you know, he said we should do one for George. We should give one for. And I was like, oh yeah, we should do it. So yeah, so we jumped in and put our stuff together so you can be able to get that, so you have that memory of, you know, your time and your effort that you put into it. So man, it was I'm glad we were able to send that to you. And yeah, as you know, we sent Alberto was able to get some nice stuff as well. So we sent some cash your way, sir, and then we got you a gift card to Nerdzoic. So
Which one it was? It's using that one, yeah.
That's good. That's good. So, and I'm glad we was able to do that, because that was another thing we were just like, gosh, you know, we definitely wanted to do something for the grand prize winner, you know, which when George won. But even before that, we were also thinking like, well, you know, the second place winner, he worked hard too, you know. he worked hard. He put some effort in there to get there as well. Which, gosh, dude, it was so close. And I mean, honestly, that was the thing, because we were all seeing it. Like, we were like, Alberto is just like just killed it, you know, back to back. So that was the thing. We were just like, okay, yeah, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a no-brainer. So I mean, dude, I'm glad that we was able to get something to you, Alberto, because man, again, dude, I have much respect for you. To be like, yeah, you know what, let's make the even playing field for this. And honestly, we're going to do that going forward. Literally, the next time we do this Toytography challenge, we're just going to do that across the board. Like, every single challenge is going to be a brand new challenge, and everyone is just going to be starting at zero for every challenge, because that way it just keeps it interesting all the way to the very end. So yeah, we definitely are going to do that. But again, man, this much respect to you, Alberto, for doing that, sir.
Absolutely.
Just yeah, that was good sportsmanship, sir. Good sportsmanship. So yeah, so well, that's gonna do it for us for today.
Hey,
yeah.
Brian,
Yes.
I have a question
Yes.
for you, sir.
Oh,
as
okay.
the producer, as the host of this entire competition, spending all the time, all the effort all the hours you've put into this, I would love to hear your experience and kind of your what you've gotten out of this.
Oh man, so
sorry to flip the script on you there at the last second.
Yeah, oh my gosh, man. So it was many layers to this. It was many layers to this, because first and foremost was all the submissions. Like, gosh, going through all the submissions and looking at everyone, and actually to go even further back than that, for those of you who don't know, and I think I shared it with Jesse, I wasn't the original person to come with this idea for the show. The person who actually presented the idea to me doesn't even do toy photography. Like, didn't even know toy photography existed until he saw my photos. And so he told me about it. And so when he told me his background, I was like, well, shoot, go ahead, man.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
I thought he was just getting emotional.
No.
There he is.
Oh, there you're back. You're back. You froze up there for a minute.
Like the tears there. Yeah. So when the producer was, when this guy was telling me about doing the show, I was just like, well, go ahead. I was like, you can, anything you need to know, I can help you, and I can introduce you to the toy communities and all that kind of stuff. And so when he was like, I got some other stuff I'm gonna do, you could do this. I was like, me? It's like, I don't know if I could, pull off something like this. But that's one of the great things. I know we sometimes we joke about them and stuff like that, but my wife was the one who was just like, you can do this. And so she backed me on the whole thing. So it was a challenge picking the contestants. It was a challenge putting all the graphics together for it. It was a challenge coming up with the challenges. And then it was also a challenge going to the judges, because I was like, I like my work. It's like, yes, I do enjoy my photos and things like that. But I was just thinking there's so many other talented people. And so I was super excited when Johnny said he would do this, and then when Jesse said he'd be a part of it, and then Sean, I was just like, oh my gosh, I was like, wow, this is really coming together. And then seeing everyone who submitted and looking at all the photos and everything, and I was like, yeah, this was a cool experience just watching you guys. I had the most fun looking at everyone's photos being submitted. I mean, that was the highlight. I mean, I gotta say, during that time, I had my computer on all the time. I was like, they submitted, they do another, and the moment you guys, every single one of you, the moment you guys submitted a photo, my whole family was like, let me see, I want to see. So it was like literally just looking at all of the photos that were coming in. That was just a whole lot of fun. So yeah, that was the highlight. I think the highlight of everything was just looking at everybody's photos that was submitted. So that was the most fun for me.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I really admire all of you. I mean, you hold a special place in my heart.
Ditto, man. Ditto to all you, everyone here. I mean, yeah, what an experience.
Yes.
Very thrilled to be a part of it.
Yeah, that was really a lot of fun with this. So how many applicants? Gosh, go back and look. I think, gosh, I want to say, I think like close to 50 people. I think a little over 50 that was looking. So yeah, we were going through a whole lot of photos and narrowing. There were some people that submitted photos that didn't know what it was about. So they were just kind of like, what is this? So we tried to explain to some of them what it was. And so, yeah, it was, and I can understand, because no one's ever seen this kind of stuff before. Like we've all been a part of toy photography contests in different groups, but that was the unique thing. No one ever seen anything like this, so that was the thing. So yeah, now that everyone knows what we're doing, I'm pretty sure the next time we do this, it's going to be a massive amount of people that's going to submit this whole thing. So yeah, it was, I have to prepare myself for that, and give myself a window, to see, so we're looking to possibly do season 2. If everything goes the way we like, we'll do it again this year. Because there were a couple people that we interviewed for the show that wanted to be on it. They was like, yes, I want to do this thing. But then when we told them what the schedule was, it was like, oh no, I can't. And it was just so that was the other thing, trying to make sure everybody was in a time zone that everybody can work with, because Mike, Johnny, and myself, we're on the West Coast, and you're Jesse, I think you're Midwest,
Central. Yep. Wisconsin, Central.
And then George and Alberto and Ken, you guys are on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I think Sean
He's on
was
the East.
yeah, he's on the East Coast as well. So yeah, that was the other thing of trying to get everybody's time frame right. So yeah, but from the people that we did interview, they was like, yeah, I would love to be a part of it, but it needs to be at a different time of the year. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the next one to happen later this year. If we don't do it and we end up not doing it till next year, we'll just change the time of the year. So instead of doing it at the beginning of the year, we might go more towards the summertime because different times of the year creates new challenges that we come up with. So yeah, that's oh, look at that, somebody's already throwing in your name in the hat, George, right there.
Hey.
You already thrown it in there, right? So who knows. So yeah, we'll see what we can pull off. So yeah.
And then a few years down the road, you can do a tournament of champions.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So I don't have any problem sharing this right now because I would this would be my desire. My desire would be to do this show in a studio and literally have like a big production to where we can fly all the contestants in to one spot. I mean, how cool would it be to go into like a giant warehouse filled with dioramas, all kinds of dioramas, all different things, all different kinds of lights, and stuff like that. Just to have that at your disposal. I mean, man, that would totally be ideal. One of the things that the gentleman mentioned to me when he first presented this thing to me was to have. He was like, I really would like to do this where we have a film crew with each contestant. And I was like, yeah, that would be cool to have, so that, like, for instance, with Ian having the leg break and having that film crew right there to catch that and the tournament happen, or getting George, and George is trying to, get the pictures in the snow, but the boards are going back and forth, and you got something to do with film crew catching all of that, and he's trying to get
I make them hold the boards. I have assistants.
Right. Oh man, since you're here, why don't you hold that for me?
Balance the camera on the boards.
Yeah. So it's like to have that film crew there to film it like right when it happens, a full big production thing. That would be the ultimate goal. I would love to see something like that with the challenge. So yeah, this is just the start. I mean, you guys are the pioneers for all this, but that's what I would really like to see, where we just have a production time, and then you get paid for your time to be here and everything, because that's led down the line. That's the goal. But yeah, I would love to see this be a big production thing where we're all in one room, all in one room, and everybody has their own spots, and we're able to work with that. So right now this is just baby steps. So yes, but I'll go ahead and in here with everyone, and yes, it's definitely to all of you guys are winners in my book. I am so glad that we were able to come together and put this together, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we do next as well. So yeah, that'll be absolutely fun. So before we head off, man, now that you guys have done this, you guys got any new projects that's coming as a result of this? You got anything on the table? Jesse, I'm gonna start with you. You got anything going on this year working on?
Work stuff that I can't really talk about. I do my weekly personal projects, but I don't.
How about any images? You got any figures in mind that you got some on the table that you're gonna get some pictures of? Or?
Yes, actually, I have. I made a bunch of gravestones over last weekend, so I have a couple of cemetery shots in mind. A Grim Reaper and and I won't say the other one quite yet. I'll leave that as a surprise. So yeah, just follow me, look me up on any social media, and I do weekly projects. And I did a little Bob Ross shot today.
I did see that.
So Yeah, just mixing it up sometimes.
Happy little Bob Ross.
Little Bob Ross. Exactly.
So any mistakes he made, they were all happy accidents.
Exactly.
George, what about you, man? You got anything on the horizon that you?
Yeah, I got a new shot that I'm going to be putting out. I think either at the end of this week or beginning of beginning of next week. It's a picture of Batman and Rorschach standing over what is going to be a crime scene. So basically, an upward shot of both of them looking down, and you're basically looking at them through the eyes of a victim, and rain's pouring down, and that was a fun shot because getting the challenge of getting the rain falling down proportionate with how they're standing on that right angle was good. But it's given me the idea to maybe even do some comic book frames in a series of photos between the two, and I'm thinking of calling it Night Watch.
Okay. Yes. Alberto, sir, what about you? You got anything going on?
Other than work? No. Let me see. I'm working on a John Wick shot for. I got the Hot Toys version in, so that's
Nice.
pretty excited. And
Hey.
I want to do some skeleton shots with the Mythic Legions Necronominus line, which I haven't even opened entirely yet. So. I will say, Jesse, you're close to the abyss with the Warhammer fix.
Oh, dude. Yep. I have the collection's already growing. Okay, full confession. That was a big step for me. I actually the other weekend took a Star Wars shelf, removed some of the Star Wars items, and I put some Warhammer items in place. So that's a big step for me. I mean, I know this is a safe space, so I can say that here, but Warhammer.
I had to say, man, I've been tempted to get some myself, but I've been kind of pulling back, like no. So
many of them.
You guys are something else with those figures. It's like, I also just recently played the game, so I'm just like, oh my gosh. So and you guys are so tempting. And dude, I have to also admit to you, Alberto, I have been waiting for my rewards points to stack up at Sideshow because I'm going to jump on that Bela Skull figure because of your image, sir. Because you sat there and was showing a real cool with that lightsaber and everything. So I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. So so it looks like I'll be probably jumping on that this week. So what about you, Ken? You got anything going on, sir?
I've been just kind of practicing diorama building and stuff like that. The next one I have in mind is like a Gungy, seedy bathroom, like a graffiti filled kind of thing. So, and I got a couple of, again, like I said, I like the Mezco. I love that scale for shooting. And so I've done a couple of things and tried to recreate some art, some comic book art, and I don't know. I just get ideas, and I just kind of have these I wonder if I can, do that. I'm going to try to do that. So,
okay,
heck yeah,
okay, yeah. I will say that, speaking of your comic book cover, man, that's that Gotham by Gaslight image that you did. Oh man, that
was fun.
That's beautiful.
You built diorama for that too.
I built that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that came out fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. I'm glad I have that Gotham by Gaslight, and I also have some foam board I might be messing around. So that's one of the other things I love about all of this, just not just here, but the community as well, how we're able to just pull ideas from different people. I mean, it is just a phenomenal, what a great time to be alive, I'll just say. to be around with all of you guys and to be able to meet all of you and just pull ideas, man. It's just absolutely fantastic. So yeah,
something like this is just a real push to up your game.
Yeah,
and it's really and like you said, these challenges are designed to pull you out of your comfort zone, and it really does. And there's lots of the feedback is invaluable, and just talking through somebody else's photo and how they did it is there's so much to gain from something like this. It's great to look at other people's work online and things like that, but to sort of experience with them is something else entirely. And what a great opportunity. So I just want to say thanks to you guys for judging and hosting, and you guys for being incredible competitors, because you deserve where you landed. Absolutely. So,
Yes. Totally agree. And, well, all right, folks. Again, thank you again for tuning in to the channel. Please like and subscribe. And we'll see what we come up with. We actually have some new things to show next week because we got some figures that came in the mail and some other stuff going on. So we have some more cool things to talk about next week. So we will see you next week on the next episode of Toytography Live. Have a great week.